And we are good to go. We should be good. Yep, we are looking good. Okay. I haven't looked yet, Mike. It's going to take me a minute to go through. I'll do it after I'm done with all the streams tonight. Okay, so we're going to go back to the flower version, and this time we're going to try gold. So we're going to kind of incorporate the gold in there and experiment with that. I'll show you the difference between the two and how we envelop color in there. Uh-oh. There we go. You got an eyelash in here. Hold on. Okay, that's better. All right, let me grab the right and appropriate size glass rod. Here we go. And right about there. So tonight we are going to do the flower again, but this time we're going to use gold. What I had to eat. Stephanie made some type of crock pot thingy. Mushrooms, beef, type of thing. Crock potty. I always like that. Very simple. Low carb. Definitely low carb. All right, we are back to live. It should be back on the vertical stream right now. Okay, so first things first, we're going to go back into making a flower. This time we are doing the full-blown version with gold. And we'll show you the difference between gold, silver, combinations, all that fun stuff. So one of the reasons I'm kind of focusing on this is just to go through some colors. Recent shakeup in the industry. There's a little bit of a price change. Not a little bit, a big price change. So going to have to adapt to the changes by incorporating different methods of coloring the glass. So that's what we're doing right now. We're going to go back to some gold and silver fuming of flowers, even sandblasting them. Yeah, crockpot peels, they are definitely the bomb. Can I make a tiny fairy to sit on a flower? Eventually, yes. I can't do it right now, but yes. Absolutely, we can make little fairy to go on the flower. Okay, and let's get this done. Going to pull this here. So about every third or fourth petal, I will show you where we're at. And we will incorporate the color right after the whole flower is done. This is one of those things people don't like doing in the clear form, because the clear shows every single flaw. So if you mess it up, there will be a flaw, and it definitely shows it. So people don't like doing clear and then adding color. I actually like the rose in clear, or the flower, and then sandblasting it. Sandblasting looks awesome. Actually looks pretty amazing. Mississippi pot rose? I absolutely will. Dragonfly, you'll have to send me a message for that, though. Gonna make Grateful Dead bears? I'm not sure about that. I can visualize it a little bit, but I can't. I can visualize it a little, not all the way. But it's basically just a bear. I mean, I can make a bear that's very close. I can't call it a Grateful Dead bear, obviously. I'd have to do kind of my own version of it. But yeah. Okay, so this is that stage that I always say doesn't look like anything significant right there. Just kind of looks like, I don't even know what that even looks like. Kind of like gummy bears, exactly, but it has to be a little bigger. I'm using a carbon tool, graphite. Big old pencil lead. Basically, it's giant pencil lead. Okay, so we're going to add 3 more petals. You're going to start to see it take a little bit of shape here as we go through. Like I said, about every 3rd or 4th petal, I will show you kind of the progress as we build up to it. And there we go. 2 more, and you'll definitely start to see it take better shape. Once I do these next 2 petals, it'll start to look like a little bit of a flower. Oh yeah, I completely get that. I just have to make sure that, you know, I'm not violating someone's intellectual property rights. Okay, where did I just put that one? Okay, right there. Sometimes I lose track of where I'm at on these. You have to take a second to figure out where you put the last one, and then meld it in from there. All right, next one. So yeah, you'll definitely start to see it taking shape here. Not fully engaged yet, but close enough. Yeah, right there. There we go. And we just blend it in. What's up, Red Squeak? How you doing? All right, so now you can see we got a little bit of a flowery shape starting. I mean, it's not even close yet, but definitely looks better than it was with the just 3 petals on there. All right, before we go too far, I got to turn it to my analytics. There we go. All right, so yeah, we're going to be doing the next set of 3. And I will show you. Then it starts to really form. Getting ready to do a little shopping. There you go. Have you ever seen a trumpet player and glass blowers have the frog necks? Yes. So for glass blowing, you only get that if you really try. There's no reason to put that much pressure in the glass. It is molten. I mean, it is moving around. You shouldn't have to add that much pressure to get the glass to expand. At least for me, it's not that. I've never found that issue where I had to push so much air in there. It's almost as easy as blowing bubbles in water. Super easy. Thank you for the rose. All right, so we're going to add 2 more petals on here, and I'm going to show you where we're at. And then we're going to jump up to the larger glass rod to increase the petal size, and in turn increase the size of the flower itself. Okay, there's my spot. So we jump up 2 different sizes of glass. So we go from one size and then jump up a little bit bigger glass rod, and in turn it creates a little bit bigger petal. Now if you were going very big, you'd use 3 different sizes. Have I ever messed up and put my hand in it? No, I've never done that. I've messed up, but never put my hand in the fire. No, that ain't happening. Okay. All right, last one in this size. We're going to attach, pull, and burn it off. So this one's going to be the gold fuming. It's going to look absolutely fantastic. I love the gold. I'm going to try and go for the purpley color. We're going to try and go for the purples. All right, so now we got the flowers starting to take shape. It's a little tiny baby flower at the moment. But you can see where all the petals are starting to come out and flare the flower out a little bit. We're going to jump up a size rod here and start making new ones. Going to look amazing. Oh, what would happen not to do it? Not quite reading that chat correctly. All right, so we're going to heat it up and squish it. And again, this is the little bit bigger petals. You can see a little bit of an edge around the two sides there, a little bit of thickness. And that allows me to make the petal a little bigger, and it also helps in forming it. Gives me a little more space to work it. It's not so thin that you can't carve into it. All right, there we are. So there definitely should be a difference in these next three. You'll see a little bit wider proportional stance to it. I got to pull this off because this has a little wonkiness to it. There we go. It had cracked. The rod itself had cracked, and when I sealed it up, it creates all these little micro air bubbles. And because we're doing it out of clear with fuming, that will be very visible in the end result, so you definitely don't want to use that. All right, one more petal here in the thick. Here we are. And we're going to squish it. Squish it and mush it. Squish it and mush it. How y'all doing? All right, next one, and then I'll show you. We are at the third one right now. And here we go. Pop it in there. Give it a nice pull. Like that. Got an itch. Okay, now we have all the petals running around that way. We're looking really good. Again, a lot of people hate doing clear because it shows everything. Like, I mean, seriously, it shows everything. You cannot hide any imperfections in here. And it scares the hell out of people that do glass because it shows up. All right, let's do the next set. Now, this could be anywhere between 3 and 5 petals, depending on how the layout is working. I never know until we start diving into it. There we are. Push it way up there. Okay, we're going to do the next 2. Here we go. Squish. And find my spot, attach, pull it back, and there we go. And one more. We might go a little bigger. We might go a little bit bigger on this. What do you guys think? Should we go bigger than the last one. Should we like make it a bigger flower? We'll see here. All right, there we are. And squish it. All right, what do you... So there we are so far. Should we go bigger? Yeah, it'll definitely anneal overnight in the kiln. Yeah, we'll go a little bit bigger. We'll make it a little bigger. We'll keep going on the fly. All right, 3 more petals and we'll check it from there, and then we'll keep going until it starts to look too obnoxious, and then we got to stop. Give that one a little bit of a fold in there. All right. So this is what the petals look like before we carve them. You can see that one curving way off to the side. It's all funky looking. So that's what they look like before I start doing my thing to it. That's what it looks like. A glass Rottweiler. That I think I could do, but not right away. I have a lot on my plate right now. Down the road for sure. All right, here we go. We're going to at least do 2 more, maybe even some more after that. Okay, there is that version. Yeah, this is going to start getting into the 5 layers. Instead of 3 petals in one row, it's going to start getting to the 5. Okay, got a little touched right there. There we go. So it had touched the previous petal, so I had to separate that. I hate it when that happens. We're making a flower. And then we're going to color it with pure gold. So this is going to be the gold fumed flower. So I am anticipating we're going to be adding a lot of metals and fuming in the future due to the rising cost of colored glass. I just have a feeling we're going to be incorporating more fuming in the future. So might as well get the practice and the style down now. Yeah, I had a Mirage for many years, like 12 years, I think. Great torch. All right, and squish. Oh, there we are. I got to find my gap here. Here we go. Yep, right there. All right, we're definitely putting one more on. We'll see how it looks. Right in there. All right, we're still growing. We're getting there. Got a couple petals, probably right towards that bottom down there where it's facing the bottom section. I can see one or two spots, maybe just one more petal. I think it'll be good. And then we're going to color it up. So we'll be using gold with it. Yeah, right in there. And boom. All good to go. I think that's it. I don't think we can go anymore. The stem's not designed to hold that much. Wes, thank you. Pocket Fiddler. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Appreciate that. All right, let's kind of get some heat built into it a little. Just for a second here. Bring it back down. Then I'm going to add the little bit of these little, I don't know what they're called. They're like little leaves coming off the flowers towards the bottom stem. They're not really leaves, but it just adds a little stability at this point. Blend that in. Let it cool off for a second. Got to keep this sucker warm. Come over and do the next section. There we are. And then one more. And that is blended now. So just add some stability to the actual flower head. It starts getting a little weak up there because of the weight of all those petals on there and a skinnier rod attaching to it. So we're going to warm it up just a total little bit, tiny little bit. And there it is in clear. And we're about to add the gold in here. We're going to do a couple shades of gold to it. We'll start slow, and then we'll increase it from there. Give me 1 second here. I need to grab a quick drink before we go any further because I'm powered by Mountain Dew. I am powered by Mountain Dew at the moment. So I'll just get this, let this settle for a second. Then we're going to add the gold. This is where it's going to look absolutely amazing. You do not want to miss this point right here. Absolutely do not want to miss this. All right, here we go. I'm going to grab the gold, set my flame up chemistry-wise, perfect. Right there. And if I were gold, I would be... Which one of you is my gold rod? Are you serious? All right, 1 second. I got to figure out which one's gold. All right, you're gold. It's a fresh gold rod, so it doesn't have a lot of vapor on it. All right, we're going to warm it up. This is warming it up a little bit. Bring it down. Last chance to see it in clear before we turn it into awesome. So first thing I do is I kind of try to get it in between the gaps here. So we're going to park the gold right in the gaps. Like that. So we just added some color to it right there. So we just got it in the gap section. That's one of the ways you can do it right there. You can kind of leave it a light pinky gold doing it that way. And then we're going to bring it in here and we're going to add a little bit to the edge. Just on the bottom section. There we are. We can start getting towards those more purpley colors. So you can see the purple kind of sitting on the bottom. In fact, we'll use the flashlight to kind of give it a little bit of a nuance there. You can see that the colors are starting to pop out down there. You can see a little bit more purpley down there. And like that. So that is the gold so far. Try and angle it towards the camera. But yeah, there we are so far. And we're going to open it up a little bit. Burn it in a tiny bit. And then we're going to fire a little bit dead center in the middle. We're going to go right towards the middle section here. Did my gold fall off? I hope not. Nope, there it is. So we're just going to fire it right in there temporarily. Like that. Give it a heavy gold look in there. Just in the top dead center now. So we just darkened the whole thing up. Like that. And then, yeah, that's kind of as dark as I like to go on these. I don't like to go too much further. Yes, I could definitely do them live. All right, we're going to grab the borax right now. So borax laundry soap will actually change the coloring a little bit. I don't have any right here. All right. Give me 1 second. I'm going to be off screen for just a second. I'm going to grab it, and we're going to change the coloring up a little bit with borax. And if I was borax, I would be right there. And it literally is borax laundry soap. It is not any different. Now this will help secure the gold in its place. Get comfortable here because I do not want to have an issue. There we go. All right, we're going to grab the golden rose, warm it up. And it literally is borax. All right, so this is what it looks like before we get the borax on there. Okay, it kind of has that really pinky, orangey, reddish look to it. And we're about to change that up. So we're going to fume this borax right onto it. This will help lock in that gold. Changing the color ever so slightly. So if I did it right, we should have cranberry. If I did it right, we should have a cranberry color going on. And there we go. I think it's cranberry. Let's check it. Yeah, we should have that cranberry color heading in there in the back end. Deep inside should be cranberry. There we are. So that is the gold. So I love that color. And I'll show you the difference between the gold and the silver. We'll bring out the silver one that we did earlier. So this is the gold and the silver. So these are the two different color choices that you can do with metals. So gold and silver. And there they are. I think it looks good. I like them. Gonna park that right there and right there. Yeah, so the gold and the silver, it really, yeah, everybody has a different choice as to what they like better. I mean, it just really depends on the aspect. What do you like better? You know what I mean? Uh-oh. There we go. Okay. So we're going to try a little bit different gold and silver on there, but this time we're going to apply it ahead of time. And we're going to turn it into, I don't know what, maybe marble-ish type of object or a pendant. Let's grab this here. So we're going to mix gold and silver. We're going to blend them up a little bit in here and create a different concept to it whatsoever instead of a flower. And see what we get. Oh, here we go. This will be perfect. And it'll look organically kind of cool, to be honest. Okay, we got this fused together. All right. So we're going to take this and we're going to burn off right about there. Just a little chunky monkey of it. Right. Come on, burn off. Okay, there we go. So the first color I'm going to apply is gold. The reason we do the gold first is if you do silver, it can taint the gold. if you do silver first and then you put gold over it, you get a whole different color, like an orangey metallic look. I don't want that. I want to keep it kind of pinky purple. So we do the gold first. We're going to trap that gold, and then we could do the silver on top of that, and it's going to keep those colors really separated. Otherwise, they just blend too much. Thank you, Richard. Yes, definitely hit the like if you can. I appreciate it. We are rocking and rolling tonight. And here we go. So this is a process called gold fuming. Got a little straight clear glass rod here. So we're going to take pure gold, vaporize it on here, trap it, take silver, do the same thing. So at the end of this little rod here is a tiny, tiny, tiny nugget of gold. With the increasing prices of gold, you don't want to get too lost in that. So it's going to vaporize, and it's going to use the flame as a conduit to travel all the way to this glass rod up here. It's just a little process, and it's called fuming. And basically what it sounds like. You turn the gold to a fume, and it travels up the flame and coats the glass. Like that. Going to park this back in the kiln. And I'm going to show you what happened. All right, there we are. Now you can see that it completely gold plated that glass rod. We're going to definitely use flashlights at time. Now you can see all that gold hanging in there through the transparency there. Too bright. But yeah, that is gold. We're going to trap it right now. Okay, that process is by taking a clear glass rod. We're just going to stripe down there. Think of like incorporating aluminum foil in between two sheets of glass. Same thing. Just at 3,000 degrees. All right, here we go. So we're just basically sandwiching that metal in there. Just running it all the way down. And we're going to come over here, do the same thing. Going to run out of rod here. It's getting pretty short. And we have that done. What's up, Coops? All right, so now we have all that gold trapped by everywhere you see that line running up and down there. So we got that settled. Going to grab the silver. We're going to coat that on top of it, and then we're going to trap it the same way. And it will give us a secondary color bouncing through here. Hopefully a third or fourth color, too. Right now we're going to take it. I'm going to show it to you before we get there. My glasses are very special. So there's what it looks like before we add the silver. And here we go. 3, 2, 1, we're vaporizing. This is called fuming. And we're going to go pretty heavy on it right now. And there we go. We're getting the color on. All right, we're good. Stay. Or not. Okay, so now we have the silver on there. Notice how the color changed. It went to more of a metallic-y, yellowish color in there. Kind of like an ambery metallic. We're going to kind of melt that in just by letting it settle with the flame. So it's kind of just like blending it right now. We're creating a metal sandwich. All right, there we go. I know. Actually, when silver's on, silver looks very golden. It completely throws people off because the silver looks just like gold when it's heated. It looks like it's gold. All right, so we're going to trap that silver in there right now, just going in between all those gaps we had before. All the way around. And we're looking super fantastic here. And do I have a little? Yep, I have a little bit right there. I'm trying not to trap any air, but if I do, it's okay too. There's a little gap right between here, and we're going to trap that. Should be all good. So everything is completely encased now. All the metals are encased. There's nothing else in there. It's just literally gold and silver are creating the colors. So we have that tertiary effect right there. Next step is we're going to fold everything onto each other. So we're going to take all those colors and we're going to bend, fold, and then pull it into a usable glass rod that will give us all these little tiny variations of color. Hopefully we get some of the blues in here, but we'll see. So we're just going to get it super hot. We're going to fold it a couple times and then pull it. Super hot, fold it, pull it. Super hot, fold and pull. Call this the taffy pull. Reminds me of a candy maker in Santa Cruz, California, a taffy place. Okay, so we bring it out. We're going to fold, squish, same thing, bring it out, fold it, squish, and one more time, and we should have enough lines running through it now. All right, one more time. We're going to pull. I just want to fold and bend it, squish it, like that. And now we should have mixed everything up in there appropriately. And we're going to turn this into, I don't know, maybe we'll do one pendant, one marble. Because we should have some amazing colors bouncing through here now. Okay, we're almost there. I'm hoping it kind of has a sunset look to it. Right about there. So we'll leave a little bit for a pendant if we decide to do that by separating this. And there we are. We're going to pull it apart. Okay, we're good to go. I'm going to pop this in the kiln to keep it warm. And over there. We're going to pull this little nubby off the end, and I'm going to show you exactly what we accomplished. By doing it that way. And then we'll actually turn it into something pretty amazing. Y'all ready? Here we go. So this looks like not much, right? Now look at all the colors kind of bouncing through there. I don't know if you can see them, but there are some greens, some yellows, some pinks running through that. Maybe if I put it down low, there you go. So now you can see all those colors bouncing through. All right, we're going to turn this to an amazing marble. So the inside of this marble, yeah, I do definitely memorial. The inside of this marble should look like just this chaos of mixed metal gases running through there. It's kind of crazy. But that's what I want. I want it to look just like this crazy gas giant on the inside. I use 0.9999 pure. That's what this is right here. That's a Canadian maple leaf. That's silver. But yes, I use 0.9999 pure gold and 0.999 pure silver. Both coming from the Canadian maple leaf, the collector coins. Okay, there we go. All right, so we're going to take this and we're going to magnify the heck out of that. Andrew, well, I'm going to give you a good guess what happens if you put your finger in the flame. I think you're smart enough to figure it out. I have a little bit of a confidence in you. Maybe. Am I Canadian? Nope. All right, here we go. So we're just kind of getting this thing to fold over. I want these lines running around. I'm trying to just fold them all over the place. I don't want a specific pattern. I want total chaos. And there we go. And I think we have chaos. Now that's what I call chaos right there. It looks absolutely freaking awesome. Is shipping to Canada a problem? Nope. Not a problem at all. Okay, so we're going to melt this in. You ready? Here we go. So we're going to create what I call a lens cap on here. And basically what it's going to do is it's going to take all those little gold and silver swish and swirls and patterns and ribbons in there, and we're going to magnify it with the clear. So we're just going to come this way and just come right across the top. There we are. Yeah, we're looking really good in here. It kind of looks cool. I can't wait to show you all. I cannot wait. It won't be long. We're not going to make a gigantic piece, so you'll be able to see the end result pretty quick. We're not going super big. All right, there we are. I have no idea what that was. Scared the crap out of me. I use borosilicate glass. All right, so we're going to separate this right now. I don't think it was a ghost. I think it was wind, but I don't know what blew over. Now, I think that was definitely wind. There's definitely uranium in the picture. Dragonfly is correct. All right, so what I'm looking for now is we're going to take all this whimsical chaos here. We're going to let it cool for a second. I'm hoping you can get a little bit of a picture of what we got going on. You're going to definitely want to stay to the end on this if you want to see amazing. We should have some really amazing color bouncing through this. And this is, again, just gold and silver. Yeah, it's not showing the way I want it to right now. It will show in just a little bit. You can see kind of those little swirls running through in there. So we're going to get that all the way through the top down. Once I add the black background to here, we're definitely going to get some action. And do I have enough black here? Not sure. I got a lot of color over here. Oh, yeah, I should have enough. All right, so we're going to add a black background to this, and it should, theoretically, look really cool. Okay, we're going to punty it up. And it should just look like this chaos of, like a gas planet. Literally a gas planet. Kind of like Jupiter or something along those lines. And this, again, is just gold and silver. We're going to do the black background because we can. Okay. Just need to separate this. This is going to be a quick, boring segment right here for about the next 10-15 seconds. While I separate this. And then we will be back to adding some cool stuff on. And there we go. All right, we're all good. I'm actually going to attach this way ahead of time because I know I'm going to use every bit of it. There we go. Okay, just got to pull a little bit off this bottom. All right, we're good. So we're going to add the black background now. After I do this, you're definitely going to see some colors bouncing through. In just a minute, it's for sure going to show. I can already see it. So we're just going to bring it around. Okay, this is the part I got to be really careful right here. Melt that up. Okay, now we're good. Going to be able to go all the way through. And here we go. Okay, just coating it all the way around. Okay, almost there. Okay, and when we get to the very bottom, got to add it double thick down here. This is where it gets the thinnest right here. Okay, we're good. All right, so from here, oxygen and propane are the two gases. No. Yep, you're my huckleberry. All right, so we're going to grab this, and we're going to start forming this into a marble. You can definitely see the color bouncing in there. And we should be getting to some visible stuff very quickly here. This will be very visible very shortly here. Here we go. And there we go. We're just going to start pushing it together very slowly. Start getting it more rounded out. Get rid of that ice cream cone shape. Okay. And there we go. See, we're getting rid of that ice cream cone shape right now. And we're creating a little bit of chaos on the inside of this marble. And did it work? I think it did. All right, we're going to separate here. So we got it separated. It's super bright right now. We're not going to be able to see too much. We're going to get it a little bit balanced out, and I'll show you where we're at. I just need to balance this out a little bit. Get that out of the way, bring it in, and let it kind of fall onto itself. Yeah, it's looking good. All right, so we're going to start using the mold over here. This is the marble mold. So we're going to come right to there. Now this back end doesn't look very good right here, but the front should start to appear. We're going to bring over the flashlight. Hopefully we have a visual of what it's starting to look like. I can see it, but I'm hoping that the camera has the objective ability to pick it up. Yeah. Okay. So here we are. We got a little bit of brightness there. I'm going to see if I can pick it up. Got to let it cool just a tiny bit. Let it cool. We're going to start to see some colors bouncing through there. I know it's taking a second. Super hot right now. But you're going to start seeing all these little circles of swirls as it starts to cool off. And I'm hoping they really start showing up. Bring it out there. There. Now you can see those circles kind of forming in there. That little chaotic pattern. And as it keeps cooling, we'll keep getting different colors bouncing through. Okay, while it's doing that, we're going to finish off the back end, let that kind of cool off a tiny bit over there. And at the very end, we should get a good visual. Here we are. Yeah, it definitely has some nice visuals in there. Okay, so next step, we're going to burn this off. After that, I think we're going to attempt one more flower after this. I think we'll do a flower again, and then we'll do a hybrid of gold and silver with the borax. We'll try a secondary type of color with that. We'll get it there. We got it. Okay, let's pull this little bit off here. Definitely have to pull it down. Okay, and there we go. All right, we're all good. All right, let's get this thing rounded out and done. Then we'll make another flower. So we can do the next flower if you want. We can do it out of clear, or we can grab some cobalt and throw fuming on top of cobalt and do like a bluish flower with the silver and gold combination on there. I don't know. What do y'all think? You want to do blue flower with the metals kind of vaporizing it, or just go back to clear? Up to you. I'll let y'all decide. Cobalt? Yeah. Well, the metal's vaporizing into it. The fuming looks really good on cobalt. Always does. Okay, here we go. We're going to round this up. Man, I hope I don't touch that rod. Did not want to touch that one. In fact, I got to get it the heck out of the way. There. Yeah, all right, so we'll do the flower with the blue. We'll do that right after this. I'll grab some cobalt and we'll start that process. Yeah, that won't take very long. That will be a fun one. It definitely, the silver, I think the silver looks better on cobalt, but you know, for me, I think I like that look much better. Kind of gives it a green hue to it in some respects. All right. Let's just punty this thing up and call it done. That's just a little tester marble. No big deal. Too short for a punty. There we go. Little punty rod. How you doing, Charlie? All right, we just got to pull this tiny little bit off. Put it in the borax. Let it melt in there. All right, last little punty here. Boom. Now this coloring will come out a lot better once it sits in the kiln for a little while. It's going to have all kinds of little nuances of color bouncing through it. But it definitely looks like a kind of like a swirly gas planet in there, like a galaxy gas planet type evolving creation. Okay, we just got to pull this little tiny bit off here. And we're good. And then I'll show you the result, and then we're going to the flower. We're going to do the blue. We're going to make the blue look absolutely fantastic. We'll silver fume it. Maybe add gold. I don't know yet. We'll see how it plays out. Okay, so we're going to let this cool for a second, and then I'm going to show you the, yeah, kind of like galaxy gas giant nebula. It's going to look good. I'm just waiting for it to cool off. I'm hoping the light isn't too bright on it. You can kind of see a little bit of the colors bouncing through there, but they're not showing exactly what I want. There. Yeah, it's definitely got to melt in there for a while. Sit in the... Oh, you know what? Maybe I got the side view. Hold on one second. Let me see. Let me pop the side view. Let me see if I can do that. Okay, let me bring out the side view camera. There we are. So now you can that definitely helps pick out the color. See the greens and the swirls and everything running through it. And now it's going to have some blues popping in there soon too. But yeah, there are all the different... Now that's just gold and silver popped in there. And then from the side, it should show like that. Pop you right back there. All right, then we got to grab Dragonfly Creations amazing marble holder. If you do not have one of these and you are a glassblower, you are missing out. You get these from Dragonfly Creation. Kind of like a Milky Way, yeah. And then to get it off, you just boop, tap it. And then smooth it out. Here we go. We're blending everything in there. Then we let it sit for a second while we wait for it to cool. If I put it in the kiln right away, it will definitely roll on the hot spot and create a little flat spot, which sucks. But I don't know if it's going to show any of the colors. Maybe bring it down here. Yeah, you can see a little bit of color bouncing through. Maybe one more time with a light. You might be able to catch it just right. Yeah, this camera's having a hell of a hard time picking it up. All right, I'm going to go grab Cobalt. So we're going to make the Cobalt blue flower. We're going to add silver to it, and we're going to change it to looking, instead of like just a cobalt blue, going to try and make it look organic, like it literally is a flower petal all the way around. Let me grab the Cobalt and let's get started. Luckily, the microphone still works from a distance, so we should be good to go. If I were blue, I would be all in here. And I think we're good. All right, we got blue. Blue Bayou. All right, this is where it's going to get a lot of fun. So this is the blue that we're going to do, and it's going to be absolutely beautiful. When we get the silver on there, it's going to be very organic looking. I'm going to put the silver back in. I don't know if I have gold hanging out. I do. This is that gold portion that we did with the marble. We'll use that later. I don't want to use it now. Just park it off to the side. And that's it. Okay, I got my flatteners. We have to find a appropriate stem to work with. And ooh. So I'm going to show you one of the most dangerous things you have on the bench. So this is called a witch's fingernail. See that little sharp edge right there? That little blade looking thing? So when you slice these rods, you cut them, you get these little slivers like this. And this is what is called the witch's fingernail. That will definitely slice and dice you all day long. So you want to get rid of that. It's not a fun thing to have happen. Have I ever burned myself? No. Tiny little burns, nothing. I've never had a burn where it was like, oh my God, that's epic, and I have any cool stories about it. I just don't. Okay, we're going to get started on that. So we are making a cobalt blue flower. I'm going to show you the gold and silver version we did, and then this time we're going to make it blue with an organic looking fit to it. These are the ones we just did earlier, so we're going to be replicating these, but with blues. I'm going to show you with the light. Well, I don't want to try and shift it too much, but there we go. How about we get in front of the camera? So there's gold, silver, gold, silver. So these are the two organics that we did earlier. So now we're going to do that with gold or cobalt, and then we're going to add silver, and it should get super epically organic. Let's go. Y'all ready for this? So we got a decision to make halfway through, or once we're done. We can do silver and kind of give it kind of a bluish green hue to it, or we can do gold and it gives it more of a like a chrome based look to it. Oh, Sandra, yeah, we made that the other night. We were just kind of farting around. I probably shouldn't say that. Goofing around. Yeah, we were just goofing around. And I made that out of the heck. You know, we were just kind of goofing around and I made that. And so far it's pretty popular. I probably should make more. All right, so here we go. We're starting off. We make a little organic petal like this. And then we bring it in, attach, and pull. So about every third or fourth petal, I will show you where we're at. I like showing the process. I'm not teaching you how to glass blow. I'm just showing you the process. So, all right, so that's how we start off. Just kind of little unicorn horn looking thing right there. So we're going to add 3 petals. I'll show you, then 3 more, then 3 more. And we'll just keep going until we get it big enough and we say stop. I'll let you guys help decide on that. We'll see how big we go. What do y'all say? You guys want to play the game? Why do I wear glasses? Because I want to look really cool. They're not working, but yeah, that's why I wear glasses. No, seriously, I'll give you one really good guess why I would wear glasses. I have confidence you'll be able to figure it out. I'm pretty sure you could guess. All right, there's one. Buying orange rose? Yeah, orange would be cool. So that is kind of orangey. That is amber purple over white. Man, that wind is kicking in. Blowing boxes everywhere. Right, here we go. Adding petals. Yeah, I got a lot of wind kicking in. And my doors are obviously always way open, so for some ventilation. And one more petal. And there we are. And bring it back around. All right, so there we are. Now we got, it doesn't look like much right now. Okay, this is where it kind of looks like eh. But as we start going through, it's going to start developing its shape here. 3 more petals, it'll start to get a little bit of shape to it. And then 3 more, it definitely starts getting a shape. It'll be more of that round flowerish shape. So every 3rd petal, I will show you the stages where we're at. There we are. And you just add it in, you carve the petal on there. Got to keep it warm out here. You don't want it to cool off too much. Find your right spot. Yep. Sometimes it's really easy to lose track of where you just were. Especially when you're working with the darker colors like this. It's not hard to figure, if you get too far into it, it's not hard to get lost. Okay, here we go. We're going to add in again. I call this the triangle stage. It's where it starts to kind of look like a flower, but it has this triangular shape to it. See? That's why I said it kind of looks like a triangle. Also looks like, I think it's an Irish kilted flower or something. I think there's an Irish symbol for that. I don't remember what it is. It's like an Irish symbol. I can't remember the name. Ah, thank you, Sandra. Yeah, that's the kind of the fun little side view up there. All right, here we go. We're going to add in 3 more petals, and it'll start getting that round shape. We should get there now. And then after we do these next 3, we're going to incorporate a larger diameter rod to get a little bit bigger petals to it. Oop. Got to curl that sucker in there. But the best part will be the very end when we color it completely. The final stage will be the silver fuming of this, and we should get, like I said, some organic looking petals on there. I don't want it to look shiny. I want it more organic. All right, where was I? That's right. There. Okay. Okay, one more, and I will show you the next state. Celtic knot. That's it. Thank you for answering that. How long does it take to make one? I don't know. I should be done in the next 7 to 8 minutes. Probably about 10, 15 minutes. A flower, depending on what I'm doing. Now, if I'm not showing it on live stream, like I'm just making it for production, then it's a lot faster. But because I show it in stages and I'm taking my time to show you, it's a little slower. Actually, a lot slower. But I sure as heck wouldn't want to live stream and not explain and show what the heck I'm doing. I've seen a lot of people do that. Okay, so now we got all the petals running around there. Okay, it's starting to take shape. It's not complete yet, but we're getting there. Now we're going to use a larger diameter like this and go all the way around with some bigger glass. And depending on how big we make it, it should look amazing. Janet, thank you so much for the clapping seal. All right, let's go. Here we go. We're going to squish. Now this one, I do the larger petal. See how the outside looks like it's a little thicker, which it is. We do that so that it allows me to add the petals in here and keep it structurally very sound. If they get too thin, it's not fun to try and shape them. So those thicker edges allow me to kind of get it exactly where I want it. Okay, that's definitely bigger. Add 2 more, I'll show you, then we go a little bit further. And squish. And there we are. Yep. And then I'll put one more and I'll show you where we're at. We're going to add one more petal and I'll show you where we're at so far. Definitely going to require at least 3 more beyond this. At least to fill it out. There we are. Smooth it out, carve it up, give it a little squish. All right, here we are. So we are currently at the tri-stage. So again, I call this the tri-stage. It looks very, very triangular this way. So the next step, we should add the 3 more petals. I don't know how much further we're going to go. We'll see how it looks. It might be good with just 3 more petals, and then we'll add the silver and see what we look like from there. It's on a smaller stem, so I don't want to go too big with it. There we go. Push it in. There we are. I love this process. Absolutely love doing this. I love making flowers. Flowers are so much fun to make. What's up, Bayo? Could I show the glass filter? Afterwards, yes. Got a little squirrely on me there. Okay. Pull that one down. And one more. All right, one more. One more petal. We should be good. And then we're going to start coloring it, I think, with the silver. Going to add in the fume. It's pretty big for this stem. And what I'm referring to is the diameter of the stem is pretty thin. And this flower is starting to get pretty big and heavy up here. And after a while, it just gets to a point where it's too much weight for the little attachment there, and it can definitely create a vulnerable spot for it to break. And I do not like that. Let me just double check. Yeah, so we got all the colors running. It's pretty full right now. Okay, let me just add the little extensions down here. Then we're going to silver fume it. So if you have stuck around to this point, now's the time where it gets a lot of fun. Okay? If you have stuck around this long, this is where it gets cool. Okay, right after we get this part done. Just these little extensions down here. This is just kind of sealing that last little bit of petals up with the stem, creating a little bit of stability. Kind of looks like these little flower leafy things coming off. There we are. Just a little organic. All right, so let's warm this up while we're doing that. I'm going to get the silver ready. Okay, so we are going to be silver fuming this. If you have stuck around this long, we will definitely have, I do not have these available for purchase yet, but if you see one right now that you want to purchase, let me know. If I am currently making one of these flowers that you want to purchase, let me know, and we can certainly make an arrangement for you to be able to purchase it. Okay, so right now we're just warming the whole thing up. Okay. This is where we're going to add in the silver. So last look before we start changing the coloring. We're going to try for an organic look. So we're going to coat it. It's going to look very shiny, metallic-y. And then we're going to try and get it into more of the organic look. I'm going to try and dilute the silver down. So here we go. We got a little tiny chunk of silver on the end of this rod. Just a little baby chunk. Okay, here we go. It's going to be a fast process. It's just going to vaporize it really quick. Create this shiny spot like that. And we just coated it. So now you can see it just got super, super shiny. And that is the silver being plated onto it. I like that look too, but to me it doesn't look like glass like that. You can see the greens coming through, but you're kind of missing out on the colors. Okay, so we're going to organically bring it in. Any tips on dichroic or opals to glass? Do I use them? Yes, I use both. That I don't have any tips that I could tell you in the, like 30 seconds. It definitely, opals and dichro definitely take longer than, it's almost a like half-hour tutorial on each. All right, so we're just melding all this in right now. So it's going to go a little bit shinier. Okay. See, we just changed it up a little. I'm going to bring in the side camera view. We're going to try and bring it up and give you a quick side view. All right, let's bring it down. There we go. So there's the side view. You can definitely see those greens and stuff coming through. Okay, going to bring it back out. Oop, a little too much. There we go. All right, so we're going to start getting this to kind of soften up now. So this is kind of softening the silver up now. We're burning a little bit off. I'm trying to create these organic striations in it. I don't want to remelt the petals necessarily. We're just trying to change the color. And I think we got pretty close to it. So it should start showing a little bit of a different hue to it. One last shot here. So now you can start definitely seeing kind of like, see how it's kind of muted those petals a little? And you see a lot more of that light blue happening in there. That is the look of more organic. Like that. Bring it out this way. You can definitely see all those colors. All right, just for funsies, we're going to throw some gold on there. We're going to try and get a little bit, not all of it. We're not going to do the whole thing gold. We're just going to give it a brushing of gold. I don't have a lot of gold in here anyway, so it's not like it can do a lot. Okay, we're going to come around to the side and just give it a quick brushing on the edges. Right on the super outside of it. I need a little less flame. There we are. Okay, I'm just going on the outer petals. I'm not trying to get it on the inner portion. We're going to bring it in. So this changes the color altogether again. I'll do the side camera one more time too. So now we got all of that going on. So that is the gold added in. Tiffany, thank you. You like the blue one currently making? Awesome. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Okay, let me get it melted in a little bit. So we're constantly changing the color. It's absolutely gorgeous. We can constantly move this color around with different flame chemistries. Okay, we're going to bring in the side camera view so you get a better look at it. And here we go. So we'll bring it in. Now you can see all those colors bouncing through. Did I tell you that'd be gorgeous or what? Now that is the true nature of the color right there. That's what I was saying. It looks totally different. And then we got to park that in the kiln. hopefully you got a good side view of that. Did the side camera show up a lot better for the color? I hope it did. Yeah, I'm hoping the side camera really delivered a little bit of a different look to it. Now we can do one more in the blue and change it up again and just do straight up gold with the borax. So we can do one more blue if you guys want to try that, or we can try clear. So decide blue or clear. I'm going to let you guys decide blue or clear. So just put your 1 for blue, 2 for clear. 1 for blue, 2 for clear. Just type in chat. 1 for blue, 2 for clear. With gold. And these are both going to have the gold on them. How much do the flowers cost? I think they're like $35 or something. They're not bad. I think they're $35. Powered by Mountain Dew again. I have enough blue here so we can do it. Okay, we are getting a lot of chats rolling through with a lot of ones. There's some twos flowing through too. I don't know, it's pretty even. I don't know. They're both going. So someone was asking about the filter. We're going to do that right now. So the glasses that I use are called didymium while this is flowing. I think we're going to do blue with gold. And then we're going to use the borax and try and change it to the purpley blue. Should be a purple blue. We'll see if we can get there. All right, so the filter, I had it put away, that's why. So my glasses have a filter on them, and they're called didymium. Blue and orange. This won't be blue and orange, but we might be able to get a little orangey out of the blue with the gold. And we just pop it in. Yeah, we could definitely do those with cremation. They're more money. They're not 35 with cremation because I have to do a different process to that. But yes, we can do that. All right, so see that little flame right there? And take it away. So that's what my glasses do. Like that. Now the camera lens that is up here, this camera up here has the filter already in it. So if you are curious about the filter, that has it already on it. See that? It's not as good a one, but it works pretty good. So that one has the camera filter on it. Okay, we're going to pop this back in the kiln. I hope I have enough gold. We might have to cut another chunk. I might have to make another little gold revision there. All right, so we're going to do the blue flower, and then we're going to do gold on it. Except this time, no silver, just straight up gold. And hopefully kind of get it into an orangey purple color. So here we go. So we're going to try blue cobalt for the flower, and we're going to shoot for kind of like an orangey purple blue color all the way around. So we're going to separate here so I have a little stem to work with. Bring it back out. And then we're going to use the borax on there. That will definitely change the coloring by a long shot. It's definitely going to make it look a lot better. All right, we're going to pull this off. Okay, so we are doing the cobalt flower, and we will be incorporating the gold onto it this time. And here we go. So about every third petal, I will show you where we're at. Every third or fourth petal, so you can see the process. Again, I'm not trying to teach people how to make flowers. I'm just showing you the process. Big difference. So first stem is always the little complicated one. Flap it around. Almost looks like a taco. If I wanted to make a taco, there you go. But it starts to look like a taco, the very first one. I gotta cut this off. It's too long. Okay. It has the taco shape. All right, so we're going to do 3 more petals. I'll show you where we're at. We'll do 3 more, show you where we're at, and we'll just keep climbing until we get to a certain point, and this flower will be done. Then you have to hand carve it in. Always have to do that. Yeah, we are using borosilicate. Common brand is Pyrex. Borosilicate is commonly known as Pyrex. Pyrex is a brand, not a type of glass. But they don't make that very clear. I could see where that could definitely be a misunderstanding in the open market. Okay, there we go. Carve that in. It's almost getting time that I have to start making tulips too, because we got the tulip festival here. So once that starts taking place, I got to get tulips going because we go through a ton of them. All right, where are you? My huckleberry right there. And then we carve in. Okay, so I definitely make irises. So the first few petals, it just doesn't look like anything. It has absolutely no shape that looks very good. And that's normal for everything. Everything should look very in the beginning. If it starts looking like a flower right off, then you got a problem. Because you're not going to be able to add the third and fourth layers very evenly. The first 2 layers have a specific motion to them and a certain way of applying it so that you can add 3 and 4 rows down. Okay, we're bringing it around. Oop. And we got a nice little section right there. All right, that's where it's at. And always got to carve that thing in there. And one more, and I will show you where we're at. This is starting to take shape. It takes a minute to get into shape, but yeah, it gets there. We get there eventually. And right there. And that is exactly where I want to be. Okay. So now we start getting into a little bit of a shaping here. You can see I call this a triangle mode, again, for those that have been with me. Has this little triangle look to it. 3 petals going off to the sides. And this is how you know you're on the right path, when you have that triangle look. Now we're going to add 3 more and kind of fill in between those gaps. So wherever the gap was in between the triangle, we're going to fill it in with 3 more petals. If I am working on one of these flowers and you are interested in any of the flowers I am currently working on, feel free to email me or message me. They are available for purchase. If you are looking to have a flower done for Valentine's Day, definitely let us know ahead of time. We're already starting to book up. And the flowers that are made for Valentine's Day are done on live stream like this. And I will basically call out the person that I'm making the flower for on the live stream, so that when you get to show your significant other or whoever, they know it was made specifically for them. And we'll schedule a time to be able to make sure that you have the ability to download and screenshot that or know where the segment is. Absolutely. Yeah, I love making these things. If you are interested in a couple of these, let me know. We can definitely custom make them for you. And here we go. And we are lining up perfectly here. And now we have 3 more on there. See how it's starting to take its shape? We're getting that organically round shape to it. We're going to do 3 more, and then we're going to go... I don't know if I got a little bit of big glass left. I should be able to get 6 petals out of that. We're going to go 3 more of this size, and then we're going to upsize the petals. And this one we're definitely going to do the gold with. And I'm hoping we get that cranberry look, because we're going to use the borax with it and create a little bit of a different look to it. All right, we're 2 more petals away from going to the bigger one. Okay, there's one there. Bring it in. And one more, and then we go to the larger ones. Yeah, got you, Red Squeak. Okay, here we go. By the way, if you are on TikTok currently or YouTube, definitely give a quick shout out and check out Grove's Glass Gallery and Dragonfly Creation. They are also glass blowers or lamp workers like what I'm doing. And they are progressing fantastically. And you have a great opportunity to watch someone basically progress throughout their career. That's something that's really rare to see. And then give Red Squeak a follow. We're going to push Red Squeak to doing her photography. We're definitely going to make sure she starts putting that out there. So we'll give her a quick follow. And a big thank you to all my mods for making the live stream always so awesome. You guys are very appreciated. All right, let's go. So we're going to start adding the bigger petals on now. And yeah, we're going to do the borax first. So this one's going to be a little different combination with the gold. Do the borax laundry soap on it first. We're going to fume that. Going to create a base to it, like a little sticky base. And then we'll do the gold on top of that. And I think that's what gives the orange effect. It's been a while since I've done it like that. All right, here we go. We're going to start adding in the larger petals. Like that. Oh, these are much bigger this time. This looks good. Yep, Dragonfly and Groves also do... yep, contact me directly. Correct. Thefieryguy.com and starrynightglass.com. Or at Gmail. But yeah, Dragonfly and Groves are both lamp workers, or this is glass blowing. It's a form of... lamp working is a form of glass blowing. And they are just doing fantastic. So I always encourage you to go check it out. Because it's always good to watch other people. Yeah, I think it's always a good perspective to see how other people do things. And they're both progressing fantastically well. They're doing absolutely fantastic. Yeah, Red Squeak is on YouTube. There we go. Can I try to burn an Oreo for me? Apparently it doesn't melt. Yeah, I have no idea. Maybe someday we might do a food versus torch contest. I did a marshmallow. The marshmallow lasted a long time. Yeah, I roasted one of those giant marshmallows in this flame once. It stuck around for quite a while. I was impressed with how much it held up. I mean, literally, it held up really, really well. All right, we are getting very close here. So now we have to fill in that gap. This is back to that triangle section. See, we got those big gaps right in between there. We're going to fill those out. And this flower should be done. We'll seal the bottom up a little bit. Wandering Brian, what's up? Thank you for the clapping seal. How are you doing? Okay, we're going to bring it in. 3 more petals. And then we're going to make the color sing. Again, a lot of what I'm doing with the fuming right now is because the largest color manufacturer of borosilicate pretty much just raised all their prices. They had to. I mean, I'm not mad at them. They've been absorbing a lot of costs for a long time. But, you know, have to make adjustments. When your costs go way up, you got to adjust. So that's what I'm doing. We're learning to kind of do that. Can't find Red Squeak? I promise she's there. Okay, here we go. And we have 2 more petals, 1 more after this one. We'll be making the colors look absolutely fantastic here. I'm excited to do this one in the gold, actually. I'm actually kind of excited to do this one. We're going to see how it looks. I'm hoping for that cranberry look. That cranberry orange purple. That's the color we want to make this blue into. I'm going to try for that. And it'll still be blue. All right, here we go. And squish. Last one. All right, let's get it all blended in. All right, we just got to seal the bottom up a little bit, and this one will be good to go. So what I'm doing is right where all the petals connect down to the bottom of the stem. If I don't kind of seal it up a little, it will definitely be fragile. So we want to eliminate that by kind of creating all these little fake leaves or greenery in there, although it's blue. But it seals up a little bit of the stem to the rose itself or the flower. Just helps stabilize that flower on there. Betty Joe, thank you for the roses. Silver and white. I'm not sure. Silver and white would be very yellowish. It would be kind of brown yellow. I mean, if that's a color you like, then yes. But I'm not sure it would be super awesome in those color combos. Now, gold and white look really good. All right, here we go. Okay, we got that done. Let's get it all sealed. All right, so basically we just kind of locked in that stem to the flower itself, simulating like little greenery coming down. Thank you, Bale. This is 31 years. All right, so we're going to warm the whole thing up. So basically, we're just warming that up real quick. Gonna bring it here. Okay, I need a few seconds for it to kind of mellow out in here. So it'll be a few seconds. It's going to be kind of boring. We're going to vaporize the borax here in a second. So just give it a minute, and we'll be ready to go. I'm going to grab a quick Mountain Dew. A little Mountain Dew drink here. Getting ready. It's been warm. All right. So this is preheating it. This is just getting it ready for the flower, for the gold. So we're going to add the borax first. Here we go. Oop, that's a little out of the way. So we're going to do borax first. It's going to create a little bit of a shiny to it. It's going to make it kind of look, I don't want to say shiny, it's just going to enhance the color a little. So this is basically borax laundry soap being vaporized onto the glass. Borosilicate is boron, or essentially borax, and that's why it bonds very well to the actual glass. Okay, so now we have the color on there. You can kind of see a little shimmer to it. We're going to bring it over. See how it just kind of got a little bit lighter shiny in there? A little shimmer. And that's the borax adding in there. Let's see if we have enough gold. Not sure I do. We're going to try firing the gold on here. If not, I'll cut another chunk off. And we'll see if we can get it going. Right now I'm trying to find the little tiny chunk. May not be much left on here. Up there's a little tiny bit right there. I don't know if there's enough to even get it to do anything. Maybe a touch of color. We got a little color on it. I'm going to have to cut another piece of gold because this isn't going to do it. But you can see the gold starting to shine on there. We're going to use the side camera so you can get a better view. Let's grab this. Bring it in. Now you can see a little bit of the gold in there on the edges. We're going to go a little heavier with that though. But yeah, there's the gold kind of floating around it. We're going to park this in the kiln. I'm going to put the camera back to where it needs to be. Okay, let me put the camera back where it needs to be. There we are. Oh, not that. There we are. Okay, so we're going to grab a little more gold, a little chunk of it. It is pure gold, so this is the little gold coin that I use right there. And we got to snip a little tiny bit off of it. And I mean just a smidge of it. You don't want too much. Is that enough? No. Luckily, gold is so soft, it's easy to manipulate. Okay, so we got a little tiny slivers of gold in there. We're going to grab another rod here because that one's a bit short. We got this one. We're going to pick up the gold with a clear glass rod. This part gets a lot of fun. Okay, here we go. We're just going to bring it in, pick up those little tiny slivers. Okay, and at the end here, you might be able to see these two little dots. They're two little chunks of gold at the end here. They're really hard to see. Okay, let's grab the blue flower again. So this is it before we get to it. You can see a little bit of golden hue to it. We're shooting for the orange color. So we got to warm it up. So this is warming it back up a little bit. We don't want to go too hot. We just want to warm it up like 300 or 400 extra degrees. Somewhere in the 1400 degree range Fahrenheit. 1400 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so we got that. We're going to take it here. And we're going to start adding in the gold really heavy. There we are. And we're shooting for the orange color. Orangey purple. Then right dead center. Let's see how we did. So now we're getting that kind of orange effect off the sides. Like that. And we're going to hit it with the borax again. So this is just a process of mixing different chemicals, different flavors. Okay, that's a lot of borax on there. All right, here we go. We're going to hit it with the borax again. It's going to give it more of that orange effect. Oh, yes. Hell yeah. I'm done. That's it. Now look at that. Did I say that was going to hit that orangey beautiful color? We're going to use the side camera. Yeah, that is enough right there. Okay, grab it right there. So there is that color. Did I tell you that was going to be beautiful or what? Then hit it. All the different, see the different lighting changes it all? That's what I was saying. That changed, just that little bit will change it. Yeah. See, that's what I was saying. We could change the whole concept of the color by adding, subtracting borax. It's just the chemicals that kind of change all that. You know, how it interacts with the glass. That's what's nice about glass. You can go through and you can change a lot of different aspects to it. So yeah, if you are interested in one of those, let me know. I'll show you all the ones we have, and then we'll go from there. So I'm going to number them basically in the order we did them. This is the silver. Oh, crap. I got to change the camera back. Sorry. There we go. Okay. So this was the silver fumed one. So this has the orangey clear. So that is number 1. That's the first one we did tonight. And then we're going to grab the gold one. This is the golden clear. And that is the gold and clear. So that is just straight up gold with the colors. And then the third one we did was the silvery one with the blue. So there's that silver. See how it has the greenish look? And that's just silver. So this is silver on blue. And then we got the gold, which I'll show you, which is number 4. If I can reach it. Like that. So that is the number 4. That is the gold on the blue. And like I said, each one has just a different hue to it, a different color. Yeah, so I won't remember off live stream. You're going to definitely have to message me if you are interested in one of those. I will not remember off of the live stream. It's too hard. Beo, thank you for hanging out. I appreciate you hanging with me. So much fun. You're always so much fun to have on. I appreciate it. Okay, actually, I'll show you something kind of cool. We'll do a quick, I don't know if I should do this. No, I don't want to do that because we're not going to do it permanent. But I can show you what gold looks like on white. We did this bird not too long ago. So this is the gold on white. I went too heavy with it though. I definitely, yeah, let me show it. My fat old fingers are in the way. But now I put way too much gold on this, but yeah, that is gold. The back of the wings you might be able to see. But yeah, that is gold on white. It is a fun color to work with. Actually, here's a better version. Never mind. As I almost drop it. This is gold on white. You can see those pinky colors. Yeah, that is gold on white. So yeah, we can do a lot of different things with gold and silver. You can change it up on different colors and create an infinite number of things from it. Anyway, it is been 2.5 hours of streaming for me, so I need to take a break for a little bit, get up and stretch. I don't know if I'll be back tonight, but if I am, I'll be here. But thank you for hanging out with me. Mods, thank you. Mod Squad, thank you very much for making my night always so safe and awesome. You guys are amazing. Thank you. And yeah, I appreciate you. Yep. Have a great, fantastic week. I'll be live again all this week, 9:30 tomorrow morning, and all this week. So don't forget to hit the subscribe and hang out with me.